Hello everybody, it's Steve Katsikaris, Norland Coboconk Community Watchdog. Just doing a video here on the Charter and Rights and Freedoms, and basically over the last number of years I've been getting arrested and thrown in jail because of my activism and what I know about wrongdoing in government. I know that you heard me say that over and over again, but if you can see that I have this word up on the screen, it's called DISREPUTE. I didn't even know what the heck that meant. Never even seen that word before. But as I studied the Charter and I started wondering why the federal justice minister didn't bring representatives from Toronto down to Oshawa the other day there on October 1st, and the same as the same as for the Attorney General of Ontario. So I served the Provincial Attorney General and also the Federal Attorney General of Canada to come for a constitutional question. They failed to attend. Why? Because they're in what? They're in DISREPUTE. I'm just going to read what it is. It's the state of not being trusted or respected. An example here, involvement with the terrorist groups brought the political party into disrepute. Yeah, so the theory has fallen into disrepute. So, didn't even know what the hell that word was, but I was going through the Constitution. I'm going to show you the Constitution here. And it's going to explain everything. Yeah, the state of not being respected or trusted. All right? So that's the grounds the Canadian government's taken against me right now, is because I got so much garbage on them for all this police state Nazi stuff that's going on in our communities and using cops like thugs that they can't talk about this. All right? That's why I'm not going to get this information ever, is because the Canadian government has the right to hide under this clause. I'm just going to see if I can get this blown up here a little bit so we can take a better look at this. There we go. So I'm just going to read it out to you. So this is enforcement, and this is under the Charter and Rights and Freedoms Part 1. So if your rights are violated under the Charter, this is where you can enforce the Charter upon the Canadian government. But if you take a look here, this is 24 of Enforcement of Fundamental Rights Part 1. But if you read this right here, where in proceedings under Section 1, a court concludes that the evidence, that means all my criminal disclosure I can't get, was obtained in a manner that infringed or denied any rights, you damn right, pretty much the whole Part 1 really, or freedoms guaranteed, there's the word, guaranteed by Her Majesty, by this Charter, the evidence shall be excluded. There it is right there. Means you don't get it. If it is established, I think we've proven that in all the courthouses I've been to, that having regard to all the circumstances, that the admission of it in the proceedings would bring the administration of justice into what? Disrepute. That means disgrace, dishonor, criminal activity, and that's why right now I've been going through all this mess, going through a marriage breakup too, finding out about illegal sewage systems, can't get full disclosure on these criminal matters, going to trial next May in Oshawa without a shred of evidence on me, and I still can't get all these 911 calls that we made up here on July 28, 2016 when we got hit by a SWAT team. And to this day, no arrest warrant. Nothing. And I was found not guilty, and now when I looked it up at the Court of Appeal, I don't exist in case law. So you can see the dirty stuff going on in our Canadian justice system, and also they're in collusion with the Canadian federal government, and that's the RCMP, and also Queen's Park, the Attorney General, all involved in cover-up and scandal here in the city of Kawartha Lakes, and going after me because I want the Constitution of Canada to be respected and followed by everyone. And I even mentioned to Justice Stone that he needed to follow equity law there on October 1st in Oshawa Courthouse. If they are using anti-terrorist laws on myself and my brother to do this punishment to us, because we're not terrorists, under equity law he needs to look through the eyes of the Queen and see if there's any evidence there. And since the Crown has no evidence and couldn't even say the grounds why to go to court, well, he basically betrayed the Queen and he's in violation of the Court Justice Act, and he's definitely showing to be biased in a conspiratorial way. And now, since this case is not going in the case law, Justice Goldstein's operating outside of the Canadian justice system to do this injustice. That's where he needs to be careful, because now that I know this, he's not immune to prosecution. The only time a judge is immune from prosecution is when he's in, or she is in a legitimate court case. Now that I've proven this, and it's off the record, and Judge Goldstein has no evidence against me to proceed on, he won't even talk about the grounds, and even threaten me to throw me in jail of contempt of court for asking my rights under the Charter. And now the feds won't come, the Attorney General won't come, so you can see how your Norland Coboconk watchdog caught all these people in government in wrongdoing, and you can see how people are getting punished, such as my niece. She's being punished because I'm an activist. Right now, the Oshawa Courthouse has now taken away her right to be the primary caregiver, threatened her with jail time, and supporting a deadbeat dad that won't pay child support. And the law is quite clear. It's Form 13. The financials dictate what's going on. So I just thought I'd put it up on the internet, let everybody know what's going on out there in the courthouses, what's going on in government, and being a student activist to be treated like this. It's just amazing. But at the end of the day, if I believe in the Queen, if I believe in this country, and if I really did take that oath, which I did when I was with the 151 Chadburn Squadron back in 1988, and I'm planning on keeping that oath, then I got to be strong and keep fighting. Because at the end of the day, the police state must fail. We must have freedom restored. That's where I feel on this. And then justice for all. Bring back jury trials. You can see that's the police state right there. As soon as they take away jury trials, they'll just do whatever they want to you. But if you got a jury, they'll think twice. Yeah, so putting this up on YouTube, go take a look at the Charter and Rights and Freedoms. It's fundamental rights under Section 24, Part 1. So it's basically the first part of the Charter. All right, I'm Steve Katsikaris, your Norland Coboconk watchdog. Stay tuned for my next video, and so long, everybody.